I think in the next uh, 2 years' time, we will be enrolling and giving these benefits to thousands and thousands of more people, because this is increasing day by day, where uh, this is an inherent need people have never understood. So I think that the most interesting part of this thing is it's not that somebody has not given into business. The other side of this thing is business community has never thought that they can get this, while everybody else is having this covered naturally by the organizations, because this business community was never organized and was there one platform. Corporates, even if they wanted, they can't give because there is no education. And this business community was never knowing that they can do this. And that was the idea of doing this.
Okay, all right. Hi Naveen, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you so much. God is very kind.
Thanks, Naveen. So basically, welcome to Startup Story. And it's pleasure to have you on board with us today, right? So before we get into the set of discussions or the questions that we have, right? Primarily, I'm personally curious to know a bit more about yourself. So if you can shed some light over there about your background, a little bit about yourself, it'll be great.
Okay. So, professionally, I'm a chartered accountant, comes from honest government's middle class family from Lucknow. Came to Delhi in 1995, started my career with a boutique merchant banking, investment banking firm in Delhi. And then I think I started my career with, after that, with one of the early startup, which is very big company in India today called Prudential ICICI at that point of time in 1999. I started my career with Prudential ICICI in 1999 at an entry level. And that smallest company in India became number one in just 7 years' time in 2007. And by that time, I was head of sales and in that company. Post that, I moved to Aditya Birla Group, where I was there for 12 years, almost equally divided, almost 5 years with Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund, where by 2013 I was head of sales and marketing. And then I wanted to do something more other than financial services. And Aditya Birla Group has given me an opportunity to move from financial services to manufacturing sector in the largest company in the group and number one cement company in India called Ultratech. It was very unusual at that point of time, moving from financial services to cement. And I spent next 6 years into Ultratech Cement, where I did enjoyed, experienced amazing things, understanding the nuances about how the cement industry operates, its value chain, dealers, retailers, distribution system, industry drivers and all. And was there for almost 6 years. And post that, there was a very interesting turn came into my life again, where I moved to food and FMCG industry. So starting with merchant banking and then to financial services, to mutual funds, one of the largest mutual funds in India, and then into India's largest cement company, and then to foods and FMCG. One of the very marquee brand called Chinks and Smith and Jones. I was managing director, CEO and managing director for Capital Foods for almost 3 years till 2021, early 2021 in January. And then this idea came in to do something more, something different. And that's how somewhere in April 2021, this 20.95 story begins. And that's here we are today.
Quite impressive career span, Naveen, right there. So you started off with one industry, then transitioning into financial services, mutual funds, and then cement industry. So complete holistic. I would say you have an experience in your kitty, right? Primarily. Interesting, right? So that brings me to my very first question for today, right? So if you could please simplify it for our audience, what exactly does 20.95 do, and why is name 2095 and not, let's say, 21?
I'm very happy that you started with this question. Uh, the basic idea of 20.95 came is that uh, there are very many platforms in the world, uh, but uh, when we talk about value chain, and when we say value chain means most of the industries, whether it is manufacturing or financial services or FMCG or foods, they work with a distribution structure. And in different industries, you call call them in different names. So in financial services, you call them distributors and agents. When you go to cement industry, you call them dealers, retailers, masons. When you go to FMCG and food, you call them super stockists, distributors, kirana wala, retailers, and all. And for them and for their welfare, while the industry says that they are a part of our family, there is a lack of a structured welfare programs for them, so that we can deliver the welfare programs. And there is no business community welfare platform in the world. There are hundreds and hundreds of platforms for payments, for buying, selling, discount, promotion, analytics. But for this business community welfare, there is no platform. And that was the idea, that this is so integral and so critical for the success of all these industries which I named and worked for. But for their community welfare, for these value chain welfare, there is no platform. That's why the 20.95 came. Now come to the name of 20.95. Why 20.95 and why not 21? The interesting fact is that if I go and ask most of the people that what is the percentage of the oxygen in Earth's atmosphere 3 million years back or 2000 years back, was it more then or is more today? And invariably I get an answer that no, it was more then and less today. The miracle of the destiny or the God is that it's exactly the same 20.95%. So the percentage of oxygen we have in Earth's atmosphere is 20.95%. Okay. Now why I'm mentioning this is that it proves three things. First, that it is timeless. The percentage of oxygen remained the same for millions of years. The second thing is it is present everywhere, from a developed country to an underdeveloped country, in every geography. So it's timeless and it's boundaryless. And third, if you think more deeply, this is the only thing in our life which is non-discretionary. We can't choose it. We can't choose to breathe. We are breathing. More importantly, effortlessly. So rich or poor, any religion, any part of the world, we are breathing effortlessly. And that's what the idea behind this is, that the welfare or the goodness should be like that. Timeless, boundaryless, and at the same time, effortless. We should be doing like that. It should be existent, omnipresent like that. And that was the idea behind 20.95. And that's why we kept the name 20.95.
Quite interesting story behind the nomenclature, the name of the firm, right? Naveen, quite interesting bit personally, right? So now again, you also have an app called Humby, right? If you could tell us more about that and what all does it offer?
So 20.95 is an idea or a thought to go and do the business community welfare. We needed a platform. And the platform name or the app name is Humby. And where this name comes from first, and then what it does. So the name comes from the word in Hindi called Humby. Now, this I wanted to give a name to this community where they are also saying they are the part of this industry. They play a critical role for the success of this in all these industries. And this time with this app, they are saying Humby. And when we wanted to convert this name of Humby, we wanted to give it much more meaning. And we have given the name Humby with B-double-E instead of B-H-I, is because when you go and look at the bees are the creature which lives in community. Yeah, they live in a colony. They work together. They work for, they make honey, but they don't consume it. And this is the only food article on earth that has no expiry date. So they live in colony, work together, do the cross-pollination for, growing all the fruits, flowers, and vegetables, and at the same time creating something which is everlasting. And that's why we have given the name to this platform, Humby. Now, what it does is that all these business communities, whatever business transaction they are doing, when they do their transaction through this platform, means they record their transaction through this platform, then what it does is that it records their transaction and reward them in the form of social security benefits. And that's what the idea of this platform is, that how can we create a social security infrastructure for this community, which it has not got. So it has two sides. One, on one side, there are industries or the corporates who are operating. Even when they want to do something good for this community, they don't have a platform. And on the other side, there is the community which don't have the social security benefits, and it has to. So there is a platform which is needed. Otherwise, what will happen is that every dealer, shopkeeper, kirana wala, cement dealer is dealing with many companies. So even if somebody wants to do something for them, how they will do it? Because they can do only on their business. While for this shopkeeper or for kirana wala, he's selling for 200 companies. Or a person who is dealing in building material, he's dealing with at least 25-30 companies in paint, cement, TMT, bar, hardware, most of the things. So how can we create a platform where the contribution of these value chain partners and the shopkeepers be recorded, and they can be rewarded in terms of social security benefits? Here's one more important thing to note is that most of the time in the industry, the reward and recognition structure started with a trip, ended with a white good or an incentive. But the thing is, they needed much more. And that's why this Humvee platform came in, so that they can reward their contribution. They reward their contribution and get rewarded for that. But in terms of social security benefits, means like life insurance, Medicaid, golden age plans. That was the idea, and that's how it works.
Interesting. Right, Naveen. So that brings me to my next question, right? So most startups try to fill a certain gap in the society when they come up with an idea, right? So what gap did you feel needed to be fulfilled when you placed the company's stepping stone?
I was, observing this in different industries. There are three very big industry segments in India. And for the simplicity, I classify them as: one is business, building construction industry, which includes cement, steel, paint, and pipes and wires and so many things. Second is FMCG and foods, which is one of the largest. Third is financial services. Fortunately and luckily, with the grace of God, I have got an opportunity in one single life to work in all the three business verticals, or all three business segments. And what I found is, if you look at the government employees, they get life cover from the government, they get the medical cover from the government, and they get their PF deducted. So it means that the relationship is not transactional. In case something happens to them, family gets something. In case something, they fall sick, somebody is there to take care of in terms of medical care. And when they retire, there is something to fall back upon. If you go to private sector employees of the same industries, they have all the three benefits, which is again life cover, mediclaim, and their PF getting deducted. So again, all the three uncertainties or the events in life, major events in life, in case of death, in case of medical uncertainties, or in case of retirement, they are being taken care of. Now, the most interesting part is the lowest strata, or the working class, the labor, the mazdoor, the kisan, the redi, patri wala, and all these people are being taken care of by the current Prime Minister, where he offered him Pradhan Mantri Ayushman Bharat Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Bima Yojana, Atal Pension Yojana. So it means all the three things for government employees, private employees, and at the same time for the lowest strata of the life is being taken care of. There is only one community in India which is not having all these things. The thought behind this is, if it is not so important, why everybody else is getting it? And if it is important, why only this community? Two things. One, we wait and see the government does something. Second is, why don't we come forward and try to create a platform where all the corporates who wants to take care of their business community, who is contributing to them, gets these benefits. At the same time, these community, which are, in my estimates, around 15 to 25 million families, are coming together. So corporates coming together, this community comes on this platform, they transact. So we are not an e-commerce platform. We are not for buying and selling. We are pure platform. When the transaction gets recorded in this platform or gets transacted, they get the social security. And that's how the idea, and that was the basic idea. There was a gap into these business community professionals, I would call the kirana walas, the distributors, the super stockists, the agents, and there was a clear gap. And I thought, why not me? And a few years back, I heard, saw a video where Mr. Anand Mahindra of Mahindra & Mahindra and our Prime Minister was discussing in a conference, and Prime Minister asked that, I want in India, people should come forward and set up social enterprise. Yeah? I thought, why not me? And that was the bigger purpose for this. I started this mission or the social enterprise to take care of, to give a platform for this business community welfare. We are the world's first and only till this time business community welfare platform.
Quite interesting, Naveen, right? So you mentioned quite a few things, right? Primarily business community platform, and the need for this platform is immense and kind of which integrates across businesses, right? So that's quite interesting and impressive, right? So with such good intentions of uplifting the unsung heroes, I would say, what kind of impact has the company made till now, and how does it look forward to make greater impact?
So, as I said, the total population of this business community should be between 15 to 25 million in my earlier estimates. We started a few months back in the month of June. And when we were recording transactions for the cement industries to start with, there were very, very encouraging response, even with few test markets. So the first thing first, we are not in a hurry who wants to create something in the next 2 quarters and wants to make it very, very big. We know that our mission is very, very big. We know our mission is very pure and at the same time with very big and good intentions. So when we started with cement industry for 4-5 test markets, we got a very good response. And on the basis of those initial transactions, we could give medical cover to almost 600 business partners where we were into test phase of approximately 11 crores of medical cover to these people. We're in the process of finalizing and signing up papers to give life cover to these same individuals worth 56 crore. So that's what the initial few months achievement of us. Where we given 11 crores of medical cover, 56 crores of life cover to almost 600 participants. At this point of time, when we are actively started working with steel industry, the two partners which are there, which is Amber Gold and Welspun Steel or Welspun TMT, I think in the next 2 years' time, we will be enrolling and giving these benefits to thousands and thousands of more people. Because this is increasing day by day, where this is an inherent need people have never understood. So I think that the most interesting part of this thing is, it's not that somebody has not given into business community. The other side of this thing is, business community has never thought that they can get this. While everybody else is having this covered naturally by their organizations, because this business community was never organized and was there one platform, corporates, even if they wanted, they can't give because there was no aggregation. And this business community was never knowing that they can get this. And that was the idea of doing this. So if you ask me, scope is immense. Thousands and thousands of crores of cover can come in. This is a new idea even for medical insurance companies and life insurance companies and the companies which can take ordinary corpus and all. But there is one more thing which we are working and solving, because even those companies are getting educated that, okay, even this can happen. where an independent platform is coming forward and trying to provide this kind of thing which has never happened.
Correct. That's quite interesting take on that, Naveen, right? So now there are different health and pension schemes by government to take care of the disguised, unorganized sector, but often it may not be well implemented, right? So where do you think these lack and how can we overcome that?
First of all, I am not going to subscribe to that idea. There is a lack of implementation for this because the government has implemented Ayushman Bharat Yojana and Pradhan Mantri Bima Yojana and Atal Pension Yojana very, very successfully for the intended class. This class is on nobody's radar. This class is not even in the government's radar and at the same time in the corporate radars for this aspect. The businesses and corporates have spent money to remunerate this community, but this was not in the radar that they need something to fall back upon in case something happens to them. And I've seen hundreds of those cases where the business partner of the very large companies where I worked and where I've not worked in IT is fallen sick or met with an accident or died due to heart attack and something like that. But because in the absence of any apparatus or any mechanism, nobody can do anything. So till this, I'm of the view is it's not a lack of implementation. It was not existing like UPI. So till UPI was not there, instant money transfer was not happening because there was no structure. Yeah. So the norm at that point of time was that either money has to be given physically or it has to be transferred like RTGS and NFT, which takes its own sweet time. The new normal is that you are going to transfer money instantly. This is a new thing. Yeah? This is not a failure of last time. What we are trying to do is a new UPI, a new WhatsApp, a new Google search. I can see these three examples comes to my mind, which are pure platforms. You want to search anything, there is Google. You want to transact something in terms of money transfer in India, UPI. You want to send some communication without any additional deletion, WhatsApp will transfer it. Business community platform like this is like the same. Some company wants to sell, shopkeeper wants to buy, they will get it at the same price. No addition, no deletion, no commission, anything. It will happen like that. And when this transacts to this platform, the business community welfare program or the social security kicks in. So I think this is a new thing which is getting set in and which will gather pace in the times to come. And that's for that.
Correct. Rightly mentioned, Naveen, right? So quite interesting conversation, right? So I think that brings me to the end of the discussion for today and the agenda, Naveen. But the conversation indeed was very insightful for me as well as, and I'm sure for a lot of other people who will be viewing this video, right? Primarily, it was a pleasure having you here, Naveen, on board with us. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Mohit. Wish us luck.
Thank you. Right.